Hi YouTube, it's Tracy from Entrepreneur Girl, and today is Tracy's Tuesday Tips, and we are going to be doing a video about Hot Wheels car. But first, do you like my awesome camera? Look, it doesn't lag. I have a new external camera for YouTube videos, and yeah, it's looking pretty good, right? Can you see me? Hello? Okay, so this is pretty cool. I'm happy about that. But today we are going to be talking about Hot Wheels. I love Hot Wheels. My kids love Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels are pretty cool. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take a few products that I have purchased in the past and show you how it goes all through the whole process, from finding them, researching them, purchasing them, listing them, sending them off to Amazon, and then selling them, and then talking about the profit margins that we actually made at the end when it was all said and done. So I think that'll be pretty cool. I think that's really useful information. I think it's something we haven't done before, and it's really good for especially the newbies out there, because you're actually kind of seeing the rationale behind, you know, what I'm thinking when I'm looking at an item, when I'm purchasing an item, and then how I go about the whole thing. You know, at least for me and my Amazon company, how I'm actually doing it. And then at the end, we can say, you know, we can see how much it sold for, and then we can be like, okay, we thought it was going to sell for this when we looked it up in January, you know, the Christmas clearance items. You know, what was it listed for when we listed it in September? How much did we actually get for the product? You know, what were our profit margins? What was our net profit per item? And I think it's very valuable to look at the differences, to talk about them, to actually kind of see some proof behind what we're doing, to get some data behind us. So I'm really excited about this. And a couple videos ago, anyway, I did a video on the Christmas stuff. I was listing the Christmas items that I had purchased in January, and I'm going to do another video once they all sell so that we can go through all the data about those items. So Hot Wheels is another product that I kind of want to follow through the whole process. And the reason I chose Hot Wheels is because this is a new product for me too. I haven't sold Hot Wheels before, definitely not in quantity. So these Hot Wheel cars I found in my Goodwill Craigslist newspaper video. Actually, my sister found them. I have to give credit to her. She was browsing the Craigslist, on the internet, and I kind of had forgotten about Craigslist. It's something I used to do. I had kind of forgot about it, maybe, kind of gotten away from it some. And here she finds this listing with 200 Hot Wheels new in the box for sale for $100, so 50 cents a piece. And that was a pretty good, 50 cents. I was like, well, that's worth taking a look at, new in the package. You know, that's Amazon FBA, not eBay. So I liked that. And so I just popped on the computer real quick before we went, not really knowing a lot about it, did some preliminary research, was kind of gauging, what they sell for on Amazon. I learned that not all Hot Wheels are created equal. You can find some at Publix or Walmart, and they're like $1.29 or something. But the years that he had weren't those. They're different years. But I think the newest ones were 2010. This one's a 2010 actually that I just grabbed. And so I kind of wanted to know before I got to the sell how much the least expensive Hot Wheel that I could list on Amazon. And that was about $4. So if I was paying 50 cents a piece, they were selling for $4, what would my profit margin be? Well, not very much on the ones that were $4. I was making like $1 on each one. But there were other Hot Wheels that were going for quite a bit of money. And I didn't know what I was going to find at the boxes at the sale, but I felt good that 50 cents was a solid price. I wanted to establish that before I went and started talking to the guy. So you saw the video footage of me going, getting them, loading them up, and here they are.
Like, up off Dixon, on the other side of Dixon, I think.
So this video is going to be with me listing them and shipping them off to Amazon and then we'll do a follow-up video on the Hot Wheels product so that we can establish the data and kind of look through that and discuss it together. I think that'll be really cool. And also, I really like Hot Wheels. I decided that this is an awesome product because it's small, it's lightweight. I can ship a lot of them very inexpensively into Amazon. And I've already sent off two of my shipments, my Amazon shipments, had Hot Wheel cars in them, and they're already selling like hotcakes because it's fourth quarter and it's Christmas. This is probably a really good stocking stuffer. So they are just flying out of my inventory as fast as I'm getting them there. So I'm shipping off two more Amazon boxes today. A lot of Hot Wheel cars are going into my warehouse today. So I'm excited about that because they are doing pretty well. And the average, well, I told you the least was $4, and my most expensive Hot Wheel was $99, and I'll show you that one here in a minute. But the average was anywhere between probably $9 and $19 listed value. So that is a really great find on Craigslist, Hot Wheels for 50 cents. So I like Hot Wheels. I'm going to add them to my lookout list. You know I like Legos. Well, now I'm adding Hot Wheels to that. So anytime I see Legos or Hot Wheels, I kind of beeline towards those items and check them out. And I thought maybe you might want to check them out too. So I'm popping out this video. Okay, so this is my messy desk area, as you can see. I always clean it up and then it always gets messy when I'm listing. So I've been listing really heavily this week. I shipped out 4 boxes yesterday and I'm working on a few more, as you can tell. In this are the Hot Wheel cars that I'm going to show you a video of. And now it's coming time to list these, and I'm going to kind of walk you through what I'm doing here and how this is going for me. Okay, so here we are on our Amazon Seller Central, and I'm going to start listing all of these Hot Wheel products. So I'm just going to type it in here, Hot Wheels, and I'm looking on the side of the product to write down what it is and the number that it is, and hit search. And I'm scrolling down to make sure that my picture looks like this picture and it's the right color and everything. I click sell yours. And then I can go up here to this corner, and mine's new, so I can look at the new ones. And I want to be free shipping. Since I'm going to be FBA, I'll be shipping to Prime members, which is, you know, free shipping. There aren't any Primes, or we would see it right here, but I can get an idea of what it's going for this way. And then since I am FBA, I can add to that. So, you know, it's around $6 and some odd cents, so I go a couple higher since I'm FBA, and there's a whole selling philosophy around that you could read Chris Green's book, and we'll probably talk about it in another video. We've touched. I'm going to add to an existing shipping plan that I'm working on right now. To inventory, I'm going to add another Hot Wheel. So I'm scrolling down, making sure it's mine. And look at this, here it is. There's only one, and it's Prime, so it's another FBA member, and this is the listed value, $99.89 for this Hot Wheel car. So this will be my most expensive listing. Packages, the newer packages, these are called short cards. This is where the package is only half size. I have older ones, and so mine are on a larger size package. And I'm going to enter the name. And I'm going to enter the number. And Okay, mine's green. That looks like my picture, so I'm going to click sell yours. I'm going to click on the new ones to see the prices, and I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to click on free shipping, and it's $10.99 for Prime. See the difference here? $5.85, $5.56, and see the jump up to $10.99 Prime? That's what I was talking about. You charge more for Prime because people are willing to pay for the convenience of Prime, and so you're able to match that price, because with Prime members, what they're doing is they're ordering their whole order online. They're doing the whole thing so that it's free 2-day shipping. And the money that they save in shipping and the time that they save, which time is money also, they feel okay with paying a couple extra bucks to have it go, to have the convenience of that. Okay, so now that we have our Hot Wheels all entered into our Amazon Seller Central account, we need to label them and place them in the boxes so that we can ship them today. So if you have an a Hot Wheel car that is relatively inexpensive, that someone is just using as a gift or a stocking stuffer, but it's not a collectible, it's not an expensive Hot Wheel or anything that's rare, you can simply just place your sticker over the existing UPC code on the back and place it in your box. When you do place it in your box, though, I would suggest doubling it like that, because this adds, double protection for the cars inside. So that way these plastic parts aren't getting smushed down, and I would just layer them like that. But if you do have a Hot Wheel car that is more expensive, you do want to take better care in how you present it to your customer, and also how you wrap it and protecting the contents. Because anything that's collectible, we all know that the wrapping, the actual box that it comes into or in with, is the same importance as the actual contents. People collect these and they never intend on opening them up and using them. They want it to be just as pristine and perfect as you can. So you don't want to go and plop a big sticker on it that they're going to have to try to pry off or rip, part of the cardboard off. So you want to, be mindful of that. One way to do that is to place it in a poly bag, and I'm going to show you that now. Now we have our box of Hot Wheels, and we have our packing tape, and we have poly bags with the printed choking hazard labels on them. I got these from Amazon. I got this from Amazon, and in bulk. So now we are ready to place our Hot Wheels into the bags to ship them to Amazon. Now, if you just had really inexpensive Hot Wheel cars that weren't collectible, the dollar type variety, I would just go ahead and put the sticker, the label on the back here, and just cover the existing UPC code and send it as this, because it's it's not fabric, it's not open, the toy's not open to the air or anything. There's really no reason to cover that. And people get confused when to use the bags and when not to. I do too, I have to admit. Sometimes I have to look it up on the Amazon Amazon Seller Central account, or sometimes I have to just make my best judgment. But anytime you have something like a pair of jeans, for example, I place in a poly bag. Any type of fabric item I place. Like a baby doll toy that's open, where you can push the buttons on the toy and it can get dirty sitting in a warehouse. Again, you're going to want to place that in a bag and cover that. People are going to expect to be taken care of because they're paying more than a regular price for that category. Like a book, you would expect to pay up to $20, maybe $30. But once you start paying $50 for a book or $100 for a book, you kind of expect it to come shrink wrapped or in a bag or some kind of special care to that, because I realize that they're not just the dollar variety. Some are more expensive than others, but I have a lot in here that's going for higher value. So having said that, we'll just go ahead and move on now. I have my Hot Wheel car in my labeled choking hazard bag. I just simply fold it over and I take a little piece of the packing tape and I'm just going to tape it like this. So now I have my nice package, and then I'm going to get my labels. I have my labels here, and I'm going to find the one that matches this. Wow, I found that pretty quick. And I'm going to place my label on the back of the plastic bag covering the UPC code. So you can see that UPC code there? I can see it through the bag. Amazon requires that you cover that so that when they scan it into the warehouse, there's no confusion. So the only code that you should see anywhere on this package is mine. And I took some extra care in it. So I will simply place that off to the side and do it with all the other Hot Wheels. The third option that you can do is you can shrink wrap your Hot Wheels car. And I'm not going to do that today to show you, but basically all you're doing is you're taking a piece of cardboard, you're going to put your Hot Wheels car down on the cardboard, and then you're going to use your shrink wrap machine to seal that up nicely, and the cardboard just gives it extra support so that it doesn't bend. You know, it keeps it nice and stiff and firm for you. And if you have one of those, you know, that's awesome. That's what I would use. And then I'm going to show you a fourth way to protect your Hot Wheel cars, especially if they're a very nice collectible like my $199 one was. And I'm going to show you that now. So here are the Hot Wheels protector mailers. This would be a great option to send in your Hot Wheel cars to the Amazon FBA warehouse. You can see that it's clear. Amazon likes your item to be clear so they can see the product inside. It would protect both the case and the car, and you could put your Amazon label on the back of the case and not hurt the contents. So I really like these, and for a 48 pack, it's $49.95 plus shipping. I haven't priced it for the cheapest one. I just popped this up real quick on Amazon to show you. So it would be an added expense of $1 per case. But if you had some really rare or valuable Hot Wheels that you were getting a pretty penny for, this is how I would ship them anyway. So guys, I hope Hot Wheels was useful to you and your Amazon business in some small way. I look forward to talking to you next video. Bye guys.